Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 12 of my social isolation Get Ready With Mes, and this week it was a close one between two Too Faced palettes. 54% of you voted on Instagram stories for the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette, which makes me very happy because that's the one I wanted to use. So that's what we're going to be using today. This is absolutely one of my favorite palettes that Too Faced makes. They don't make it anymore. It's been discontinued, which is very frustrating because I think it's the best one they've done. I find it so much more appealing than the original chocolate bar palette, and even in comparison to like the Bonbons palette and all the other ones. So this is what we're going to be using today. I'm going to create a fairly simple neutral eye look because I'm also going to be filming a lip swatch video today, which will be up on Thursday. So let's dive right in. So this is actually my second time trying to film this because I got the eyeshadows done and then realized I wasn't recording. And that's the first time I've ever done that, which is, you know, like good on me for being relatively not terrible at that for 3 years of videos or however long I've been doing this. But it's pretty frustrating to realize that everything you've been doing has not been recorded. Now I'm looking again at the viewfinder to make sure it's recording, and we're good. So I'm gonna keep the video fairly light this week, and that's just because, not that things aren't important that's going on in the world right now, but I think sometimes we need a bit of a mental break. I know I certainly do. Between all the videos that I've seen on Twitter and on the news, well, to be fair, I usually use Twitter as my news source, really, because you get a lot more information there than you do on the regular news. But I need a mental break, so I'm going to keep this video relatively light, even though there are a lot of issues happening in the world, and I'm not oblivious to them. Okay, so we're going to start this off by taking Nougat and putting that through my crease. I'm just waiting to hit pan on that sucker, because it's got quite the dip in it. I love hitting pan in palettes, but it happens so irregularly for me. I really only think I've ever hit pan in the the Urban Decay Original Naked palette. I don't think I've done it in any other palette. Maybe this one day. Okay, so we've got Nougat on, and as you can see, it's pretty tame. It's not a very strong color, but I do like using it as a transition color just because it helps with that fade from the lid up to the brow bone. Next, one of my favorite colors, Peanut Butter. It's on a MAC 217 brush. This one's seen better days. I've had this for over 10 years at this point, and it's lost a lot of hairs, but it still works nicely. So we're going to take that color and put that through the crease as well. So I have a story about chicken strips today. As many of you know, I've been playing World of Warcraft for quite a while again now. And one of my friends, my close friends in World of Warcraft, called Evan, although that's not his name in game, has been talking about chicken strips from Cane's. I guess it's a place in the US. We don't have them here. He's been talking about them for quite a while because he eats them fairly frequently. And all this chatter about chicken strips has made me like nuts for them. Like I just want chicken strips. So I think it was last weekend, I wouldn't shut up about chicken strips, so my husband went out to Popeyes to go get some. Place your order, you know, bring it back home, eat here. So he picked up the order, brought them back home. We opened our meals only to discover that they'd packed like a 3-piece sort of meal, like a drumstick, I don't know, like the wing or something. Maybe that is a drumstick. I don't know. Anyway, they were not chicken strips. And I hate fried chicken where the skin is still on. Ugh, God, like I can't eat it. I just cannot eat it. So I mostly like ripped the skin off and then like ate whatever chicken was underneath. But to be honest, a lot got wasted because I was just like grossed out by it. And he wasn't into it either. They just screwed up the order. So I was so deflated after that. So was my husband. I mean, it wasn't his fault. It was just one of those things that they screwed up. But after that, I became obsessed even more with chicken strips. So I was looking on Uber Eats one day, trying to find chicken strips. I think it was literally the next day. And I found this place called Church's Chicken, not that far away from our condo. And I was like, okay, let's give it a go. I guess they're out of Texas. I'd never heard of them before. So I placed the order on Uber Eats. Hang on, let me get the next shade and then I'll keep going with the story. We're going to take Butter Pecan here on a flat brush. This is the MAC 239. So the Uber Eats driver delivered Church's Chicken, and it was glorious. They didn't screw up the order. We got what we wanted, and it was so freaking good. And it was one of those things where I've been looking forward to it for so long and was so disappointed by Popeyes the night before that this one just like filled all those gaps for me. And initially I was like, okay, you know, like I've quenched that craving. I won't need it for a long time. But now I can't stop thinking about chicken strips again, and it's only been like a week. The Blaze was really good. I mean, it's only like a chicken strip meal with like fries and like a honey butter biscuit. Like there's nothing especially phenomenal about it, but it was chef's kiss. It was so good. And I think it just tasted so much better after the disappointment from Popeyes. And at this point, Popeyes is just, I don't love Popeyes, but I thought it was our only option at the time because I am not a fried chicken connoisseur. But this Church's Chicken place definitely has my loyalty now. I'm going to have to try this Cane's place, though, when I'm in the U.S., because my friend Evan won't stop talking about it. We don't have them here. Whenever I'm in the American Midwest, because that's where he is, Missouri, I'm always going to, like, Culver's, because I die for their deep-fried cheese curds. Oh, man. Okay, so I want to deepen up the outer corner area, so I'm going to take Truffled, same brush, still using that 217 brush. I use this for a lot, really. Just pop that on the outer corner. And then to deepen up that just a little bit more, I'm going to take Hot Fudge over here and then just put that on the very outer corner. I always have a tendency to deepen up this area because I like it with my hooded eyes because I lose a lot of dimension when my eyes are just open. But it's so funny too because I usually end up covering this area with wing liner. And then for brow bone highlight shade, I'm just going to go in with Coconut Creme on my favorite brush for this. This is a Quo brush. Oh no, has all the writing gone off of it already? This is relatively new. I can't read anything about what's left on this brush, but this is my favorite brow bone highlight shade brush. And it is by Quo, which is a Shoppers Drug Mart brand. Okay, at this point I'm just going to add some winged liner and then we'll come back and do the rest of the face. Of course, I'm using my Physicians Formula Eye Booster for this. Okay, usual suspects here. The Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. So one of the things I've been doing recently is changing up my perfume once a month. A few months ago when we first got into quarantine, I was saying that I wasn't using really my like leave the condo perfumes very much because it felt weird to do that because I wasn't going anywhere nice. But recently I was like, well, you got a lot of perfume that you kind of want to like use up, so give it a shot, change it up every month on what you're using. It's the little things that I'm doing at home, you know? For foundation, I'm going to be using the Revlon Full Cover Foundation. So the perfume that I've been using this month is the Molecule 1 perfume that I freaking adore. That is my favorite perfume now. And I was introduced to it by my friend Dominica in the UK when I met her last year. Man, I'm so glad she was wearing that perfume because now it's my favorite. Last month I was wearing Burberry Her, which was gifted to me at a PR event and was a scent that I did not think that I was going to love, but I've really been enjoying that one. And I'm trying to think what I'm going to use next month. I've got this like Mary Kay cologne. I think it's just called Ocean, Blue Ocean or something like that. And I really like the way it smells on me. I know it's a cologne intended for men, but wear whatever scent you want. And I really like that, so maybe I'll wear that throughout July. I was mostly wearing Lush's Honey I Washed the Kids body spray for I think the first month, and then I was just like, I kind of need a change. So my current excitement is changing my perfume every month. It's funny how these little things are now what's entertaining me. I feel so disconnected from the outside just because I'm almost never outside. I go for a run like 2 or 3 times a week, but it's still like I feel removed from the outside world completely. Like I'm looking outside right now through the sunroom and it's super bright and sunny. It looks like a gorgeous day, but it also looks like a day where I should be like out with friends or on a patio somewhere having a beer or out rollerblading, or heck, it's Sunday right now, I'd be out playing soccer. And it's just like, I feel so removed from the outside world now that I almost feel like it doesn't exist. I don't know how else to describe that. It's just something that is somewhere else because I'm inside all the time. And I know I'm still going for my run, so I'm still getting a little bit of sun exposure and all that, but it's funny how disconnected I just feel from the rest of the outside world. Okay, that's on. For bronzer, I'm going to be using something I haven't touched in a very long time. This is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. And I think I'm going to be using the bronzer. I'm going to go with this one, Sunny Honey, for my bronzer today. And on the note of feeling disconnected from outside, I think that's largely to do with just that I'm not going into the office anymore, not walking to and from work, which was always a really great way for me to start my workday and end it, because I had like at least 15 minutes of walking on either end. If you're not aware, I live downtown Toronto and I'm within walking distance to my office, so it's very nice to be able to get a little bit of extra exercise in the morning and at night. And on that note, I've had people asking me how I'm going to feel about returning to work. And I tell you what, I cannot wait. I am not somebody who's ever liked to work from home. I get distracted too easily. I don't feel very focused. I can get work done. That's not really it. I just feel like I want to be in the office to do my office work. And people are like, well, I'm getting really used to working from home. Like, I could do this permanently. And I'm like, that is not me. That is not what I want. I do not want any part of that. I want to be in the office 24/7. Well, not 24/7. Let's not be ridiculous. I want to be there from my usual 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. So I am very much looking forward to whenever our work from home stuff ends, but I don't think it's going to be this year. They've already said not until at least September, and even then I just think it's going to be 2021 before we go back to the office for sure. Which is fine. I would rather we do it this way and take as long as we need in order to keep social distancing happening. I do not want to be rushed back into the workspace, even though I hate working from home. The only thing I'm going to really struggle with, though, is getting back up at 6:45 a.m. now, because currently I start work at 8:30 and I'm rolling my butt out of bed at 8:25 every morning, and that's like an additional hour and a half of sleep in the morning that I'm not going to be used to when we start going back to the office. Okay, for blush, I'm going to use something a little bit bright and cheerful. This is by Becca. It's the part of their Luminous Blush range in the shade Snapdragon. I don't know if they make these anymore, which is a darn shame because they are beautiful, but you don't need very much with them because they are super pigmented. And then for highlighter, I'm going to go back into the Too Faced Natural Face Palette, and I think I'm going to grab this one down here called Satin Sheets. Just because it's got a little bit of a gold tinge to it, so it sort of matches my lid color. That is super reflective. Holy smokes, I don't remember it being, and it's very yellow. The lights are washing it out a little bit, but this is so yellow. I know my friend Sam really enjoys this palette because it works really well for deeper skin tones, which is not very common in face palettes. For reference, she's around like an NC 42 at MAC, if you're wondering about depth of tone. Okay, so that's face done. Let's zoom you back in and finish up the eyes. There is not going to be much to finishing up the eyes here. I'm just going to go back in with peanut butter on a relatively fluffy brush. This thing is kind of big. I want to put that on my lower lash line, but make sure it's really diffused. Because I just want a little bit of depth here, but not too much. And then for the lower waterline, I'm going to use one of my favorites. This is the INGLOT Kohl pencil in the shade 05, which is just my flesh tone. Wow, that's brighter than my flesh tone. Okay, I'm gonna finish the eyes with some mascara, the Hourglass Caution Mascara. I'll pop on some fake lashes by Socialize. These are the Glamorous Shorty pair. And then I'll do my brows with the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil. following it up with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 2, and then some Benefit Gimme Brow also in the shade number 2. Okay, lastly, the fun part, lips. So I could keep it pale. You can do that if you want. I want something a little bit more bright because I feel like neutrals on the eyes gives me the opportunity to wear something super bright on the lips. And I'm going to use this one by Bite Beauty. This is the Bite of San Francisco lipstick, and it is beautiful. Okay, took my hair down. So this is the finished look with the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette. I freaking love this lip color. I've worn it before, but I feel like I've just forgotten to wear it relatively recently, and that is a fire lip color. So this palette, yeah, it's one of my favorites by Too Faced. I feel like it's got really beachy tones to it, so I really like doing this kind of eye look with it. Sometimes instead of Butter Pecan on the lid, I'll take either Caramel or Bonbon just to change it up a little bit, and they're all equally lovely on the lid. So that's it. That's it with week 12. Moving on to week 13. I still don't know how long this is going to go on for. So anyway, thank you for joining me today, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.